Alright guys, it's Alpha Heavy Gamer back again with another video, and this time I want to talk about 5th gen stealth fighters and War Thunder. I know it's way off into the future, but the way Gaijin is going with the pace, talking about the Jazz 39 Gripen coming this year, and I'm kind of basing everything, pacing it off of that. I think 5th gen stealth fighters, they might not be as far away as we think. Maybe next year or the year after that we could be looking at 5th gen kind of stealth, depending on what nation, but 5th gen fighters with stealth capabilities. But I believe every nation is going to get theirs. They're going to get a 5th gen stealth capable fighter in some form, and I just want to go through every nation and talk about what they might get. There are going to be some heavyweights here. There's some nations that have invested more into stealth than others, and we're going to see that. We're gonna talk about that. So let's go. Alright, so it's no secret, it's pretty obvious, you saw it on the thumbnail, lots of nations have bought the F-35, so that's definitely going to play into what nations get what here. Well, let's just go down the list. So USA invested pretty heavily into stealth. 3 of the fighters I think are going to come to the game are definitely F-22. We don't need to dive into that. I mean, we all know about the F-22 and its abilities. All aspects stealth, the air dominance fighter, really good. F-35, the U.S. Air Force flies that, Navy flies that, and the Marine Corps fly the F-35. So F-35s everywhere on the U.S. side of things. I included the F-117 as well, even though it is a bomber and not a fighter. I believe at some point Gaijin will probably throw this into the game, especially once 5th gen stealth fighters start to appear and they're in the game. I don't see why they would exclude that. Alright, so next up is China. China's invested pretty heavily into stealth technology. They have the J-20, which looks like a pretty nice design, pretty neat looking. There's also the FC-31/J-31, which is the FC-31 being the prototype. The J-31 kind of looking like an F-35 copycat, but based on what I could find, I think that is the land version. And there's a navalized version called the J-35, which is based off of the J-31 and FC-31 prototype. So China overall looking pretty good for stealth capability there. A high cost option, I guess, in the J-20, and then the low cost option in the J-31 and J-35. And one more thought on the J-31, it also looks like it may be aimed at the export market, so kind of similar to the F-35 and that as well, which is very export oriented. So now we get to France, which is pretty interesting because really the only thing we're looking at is the Rafale Omni-Roll fighter. So of course the Rafale, it's considered 4.5, maybe 5th gen, but it is not a full aspect stealth fighter. It is, it incorporates some design features that do reduce its radar cross section and its infrared signature. But of course, most of the stealth design features are classified, and we're not going to know what those are. So it's going to be up to Gaijin, to kind of balance it, kind of tweak it out. But this is not just marketing magic. If you look at the, look at the Rafale, you can see some stealth features are visible, such as the serrated patterns on the trailing edge of the wings and the canards. And since the Rafale will probably be disadvantaged against a full stealth foe, it does feature something called a front sector optronic system, which is fully integrated into the aircraft and its weapon system. What it does is it's basically an infrared search and track system. It tracks targets visually and through infrared wavelengths. It can't be jammed or anything like that, but it's good for long range detection and identification of aircraft with a high resolution. So next up is Germany. Germany is going to be all right here. Recently, they bought into the F-35 program, and of course, the F-35 is a stealth fighter. However, you can fit ordnance onto the wings, so it can be in a configuration where it loses all of its stealth because it's carrying ordnance on the wings. If you wanted to carry more, but another aircraft that Germany features is the Eurofighter. So although the Eurofighter wasn't designed as a stealth fighter outright, there were some stealth features or measures that were taken to reduce the radar cross-section, especially from the frontal aspect. Of course, like I said about the Rafale, this isn't marketing magic make-believe. You can actually look at and observe some of the stealth features. An example of this is that the Typhoon has jet inlets that conceal the front of the engines, so it doesn't give a radar return. Also on the Eurofighter, only 15% of the aircraft's surface is metal, which again contributes to its overall stealth characteristics. And it also has a pirate infrared search and track system. Of course, allows it to detect targets passively. All right, so that's Germany. And then the UK also has the Eurofighter, the FGR-4, and they also have F-35s. So we already talked about the Eurofighter just now, some stealth characteristics in an F-35. So the UK would have two stealth options. Israel has the F-35I, so one stealth option there, although a pretty good one. Sweden has a JAS-39 Gripen, and the F-35, if you want to count Norway and Finland, I don't think Sweden is ever going to buy into the F-35 program, but for the game, Sweden can get a lot of Finnish and Norwegian equipment. But for the Gripen, if we're going to talk about a comparison of stealth, there's no direct comparison between the Gripen and say like an F-35, but the JAS-39 Gripen has a smaller radar cross-section than many operational fighter aircraft, except for, of course, aircraft like the F-22 and F-35. So Japan won't be left out this time like they usually are on many things. Japan has bought into the F-35 program. They have A's and B's, so there we go. All right, so next up is Russia, and their entrant is going to be the Su-57 Felon stealth fighter. If you want to believe the internet, though, a lot of people have said the Su-57 has very poor stealth characteristics, but nobody knows that. I mean, who knows? It could be the greatest, it could be one of the worst, but as far as warthunder goes, this would be what Russia gets for a 5th gen stealth fighter. I was going to include the Su-75 Checkmate for Russia, but that looks like it's still in a developmental stage, and it's really just a wood mock-up. There are no prototypes or anything like that, so not really good for the list, and unless Gaijin wants to start going down that rabbit hole. Alright, and last on the list is Italy, not because of any kind of ranking system, I just ended up talking about them last, but they will not be left out of the stealth gravy train. They have the Eurofighter and they have the F-35, and we already talked about those. So as you can see, for all of the nations in the game, as we get to endgame, BR 14 or 15, whatever this ends up being, everybody's going to get a stealth option, some better than others, but there will be one. So there we go, guys. Let me know what you think about the list, about my conclusions here. Like I said, this is heavy on the speculation. We're not there yet, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. And I believe these are coming. It's going to make Gaijin money, so it's coming. There's not going to be any, oh, the game's not ready for it yet. It's coming. It will make money, so they'll be here. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you the next time. Peace.